Hey, what is up, guys? This is Bo, or Carl Hugga 712, and today I'm bringing you a throwback video here. A few YouTubers recently have been posting about kind of what's the most popular Call of Duty right now. I know COD hasn't been doing quite as well these last few years with Fortnite and everything, but right now, basically, of course, we don't have the exact number for the newer Call of Duties or any Call of Duty released after Call of Duty Ghosts, but right now Black Ops 1 has nearly 600,000 people online. Yes, that's you didn't hear a misstatement there on my part. It's over almost 600,000 people on. Tonight I played around, this is April 28th, about 5:30 in the afternoon Central Time. Yeah, there's, like I said, almost 600,000 people. I think at the end of the video I have a little number up. I think it's around 566,000 people on. So I decided to hop over and see kind of how Black Ops 1 is playing in 2019. If you guys missed this game, or if you played it back in the day and you're looking forward to getting back on it or going back and playing it, I figure I can give you guys a little heads up here, just kind of how the game plays. If you play Call of Duty now and you want to know if it's worth actually picking up and going back to, like I said, this is a good video for you. First off, Black Ops 1 was one of my favorite games. It was actually the first COD I ever played. I mean, I started playing Call of Duty during Black Ops 2, but Black Ops 1 was the very first Call of Duty I ever touched, and I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I like the graphics on it. I like the gritty feel. You're using real weapons in this game. I'm using the Commando here, which is like an M4 variant. You know, like I said, the era, the Cold War era, is just great. Great kill streaks in this game. The perks, I really enjoyed how they did the perk system on here. Ghost was a little overpowered for like TDM and stuff, but other than that, this game was, like I said, pretty fun. The FAMAS was a bit overpowered, so if you guys are, you know, looking to come back and really sweat and play hard on here, the FAMAS is the go-to gun. Like I said, I'm in TDM, so I'm using basically a Commando here with a suppressor and Ghost on, which in these older games, especially games now when you're in TDM, I think you always have to run Ghost. Just because it's kind of a slower game mode, but compared to the last few Call of Duties, this would compare closest to Call of Duty World War II. So if you really enjoyed COD World War II, you're definitely going to enjoy Black Ops 1. It's a much slower paced game. It's one thing that I find funny going back and playing these old CODs that I first started playing compared to today's Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is how just incredibly slow the game feels compared to Black Ops 4. When you play Black Ops 4 and then of course the 3 jetpack games we played, you're moving so fast around the map. You're able to get from one side of the map to the other so fast. And on this game, it's, as you can see me moving here, this is me sprinting through here. And, there's no unlimited sprint. There's a marathon perk, which either in some games would let you sprint for an infinite period of time, or it would just let you sprint a little longer. The raise and drop times, too, on this game are just crazy. What I mean by, like, raise times is you'll see as I'm sprinting, basically your raise time is when you're going from sprint to shooting. It feels like it takes forever on this game when compared to, Black Ops 4 or the jetpack CODs. It feels like it just takes forever to raise your gun up. So in this game here, if you have to really know and understand the map, you have to really understand spawns where people are going to be, because if you sprint head first into a gunfight, you're going to lose pretty much every gunfight. And you saw that here. I think it was my first or second death when I came around one of the corners and I was sprinting. And I'm so used to Black Ops 4 since that's all I've been playing obviously this year. I'm so used to, oh, that's okay if I'm sprinting. I've got quick draw 1 and 2 on. I'm going to be fine coming around the corner. Not on this game here. So you need to really be able to predict where your enemy's going to be, because if you sprint around a corner on these older games, you really get punished. And I think that's good. It's more realistic. So if you like a more realistic COD, you're gonna really enjoy coming back and playing this. One of the bad things that I've noticed coming back to play Black Ops 1, and you've probably seen it on a couple of these kills here, the connections are really bad on this game, and I don't know if that's because just the area that we're connecting to with the people on here. I don't know if they're really, basically they're really far away from me. That could be it. I just I may have just I've had a bad couple of lobbies on here, and maybe just whoever the host is really bad. But like I said, the lag on here is really bad. And like I said, you'll see me here kind of skip every now and then when I'm running, or if I get into a gunfight and I kind of jump, I'll kind of levitate for a few seconds before I shoot. Or on my screen, it feels like I'm shooting, but I'm not, because I'm behind, or somebody else is behind. So that's one thing to also consider if you guys are considering maybe buying Black Ops 1 or going back and playing Black Ops 1. The connections are not the best on this game. And I've always noticed that with Treyarch games. I've always really enjoyed Treyarch games. That's obviously why I came back and played this. But with Treyarch games, you're always going to have internet issues, internet connection issues, and you're always going to have hit detection issues. The game's always going to look good. It's going to feel good. It's going to play well. But connection issues and hit detection are just funky, and you'll notice that too also on this game. When I'm shooting people, you'll have it feels like blanks coming out of your gun. So that's one thing to also consider if you're coming back to try this out. But I think it's always fun to come back and play these old CODs and just kind of see how they've aged, how well they've aged. For me personally, Black Ops 1 has not aged well. Like I said, it's still a fun game. Like I said, this was the first COD I ever played. I was terrible. Like most people who first start playing Call of Duty, you're terrible. But you enjoy it. You have fun. It's addictive. Oh, this game I got 4 or 6 kills. Next game I'm going to go for 8, and so on and so forth. So that's what's kind of fun, going back and playing these old CODs and reminiscing about the past. But when you compare them to other Call of Duties, it's just some of these games age well and some of them don't age well. Like I said, I don't think Black Ops 1 has aged well. I'd like to know in the comment section kind of what you guys think. I still enjoy going back and playing it. And I was thinking about maybe, if you guys are interested, since it looks like Modern Warfare 4 coming up, maybe go back to Modern Warfare 1, 2, or 3. The original Modern Warfare is not remastered. And maybe do like a Road to Commander or something, kind of go through there and let you guys see kind of how the old Modern Warfare is compared, since the new one's supposedly going to be a lot like MW2 and 3, which would be, I think, pretty cool. I got to go back and see how well those games have aged. Those games may not have aged well. I haven't played them in a while. So maybe I'll do a review on those, just kind of see where things have gone from there. But yeah, like I said, this game's still fun. This map here is one of my favorites from Black Ops 1, WMD. Kind of a medium-sized map, a lot of buildings. So something like Team Deathmatch, you're going to have a lot of... See the leg right there? See how I'm kind of glitching a little bit? But this was one of my favorite maps on this game. This map's supposedly coming to Black Ops 4, possibly. So that'll be interesting to see. Obviously, Black Ops 4 in this game are not going to play anything alike, just with how slow the game plays. But yeah, like I said, I think this game, is still fun to play. It's still fun to play. I think if I was to give it a rating on like a 1 to 10 today in 2019, I'd have to sit down and really go through it. But just from the couple of games I've come back and played, I'd probably give it a 6 or a 7, mainly because, again, the guns are fun to use. That's one of the things I loved about Black Ops 1. If you guys have never played it, if you guys decide to go back, you have a lot of gun variety in this game, a ton of gun variety. Some of the guns kind of function in the same manner as other weapons, but that you got the Commando and the AK, such iconic weapons. You've got the M16. The Enfield was a lot of fun on here. You've got your fast-firing single burst gun. See that kind of glitchy leg there? You have your fast-firing single round or single-shot weapons like the FAL, the M14. I mean, those guns are a lot of fun to use. Here was one of my favorite kill streaks too in the game. The SR-71. One of my favorite secondaries right here. The 357 Magnum Python. That's another thing I'd love Call of Duty to bring back one of these days. I love that gun. And one thing I'd like to add, too, if you guys are still watching the video, one thing that's completely different about Black Ops 1 and any of these older CODs when you go back and play them, these guns all have a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot of recoil, but these guns have recoil on them. You actually have to really become familiar with the weapons on this game. That was one of the things I struggled with here for my first couple of matches, because I got into a couple of sweaty domination lobbies, and I can upload those too if you guys would like to see more competitive games. But I was using the FAMAS, and the FAMAS, you know, it actually has a decent amount of recoil on it. And it's just kind of crazy because, you know, when you play like Black Ops 4 and World War II, I mean, hell, in World War II, you could put on the TOPS SMG, the PPSH, and you could like use that as an assault rifle. You could almost cross-map people off the head glitches with that. And on this game, even your assault rifles, I mean, maybe outside of the M16, or maybe one or two other weapons like the Scorpion. I mean, these guns have a lot of recoil. They wobble, they kick. You know, these games take, I think, a lot more skill than today's games. But like I said, you guys will have to let me know in the comments section. You know, have you guys gone back to Black Ops 1? Kind of what do you think about Black Ops 1 in the year 2019? Like I said, you'll see at the end of the video here how many people are online. I believe it was like 566,000. April 28th at about 5:30. Obviously, the upload's going to be a little later than that, but like I said, a lot of people on here, so if you guys want to come back and kind of reminisce or get a feel for how this game was, because, you know, eventually when the new COD comes out, all these older games, again, will drop probably down in the 5,000 range on their best day, so you can actually get in and play all the game modes. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think about the video. You know, if you're coming back to Black Ops 1, do you think it's better than I kind of made it out to be? If you think it's worse, kind of want to know your opinions in the comment section. Like I said, I'd probably give it a 6 or a 7. It's still a fun game to play, but really bad hit detection, really bad lag in the lobbies, and like I said, it's tough to get used to. It takes a second, but I probably give it a 6 or a 7 to increase it. The increase in the rating here, instead of it being like a 5, would probably be the skill. You know, it's kind of nice to go back to a high skill game. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think. If you're looking forward to Modern Warfare 4 too, let me know in the comment section. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you next video. Bo out.